back to the Blizzard Cup Group B. We are in now our 4th best of 3. Protosses are struggling, man.
Yeah, and now we have a very good Protoss player against one of the best Zergs in the group. We have Rain up against Life. And I just asked Life if he thinks that it's going to be an easy match for him, and he actually just said yes. I'm not quite sure if he understood what I was talking about, but, well, I can actually see the kid just going for, yeah, of course, man. It's a Protoss player and it's Rain, and I'm actually that good. So we will see if he's able to win. Entombed Valley is today our starting map, which gives Rain a little bit of an edge here.
Yep.
That was the map that he won against Violet, of course. But Life definitely watched the game. Life watched the game and now has an idea of what Rain did in the last game.
Both players are ready to go as soon as they got in the lobby. Yeah, they're both really, bam, bam, let's go, right in the chat, immediately to each other.
We are good to go. Life versus Rain. To me, this is actually one of the most anticipated games that I had today.
Oh man, this is going to be intense, but Rain, I think, definitely is not the favorite here, especially considering his game already they played against Zerg. I would say Life, especially that, I mean, and on top of it all, you just talked Life, and I was standing right next to you. He seems very confident. Yeah. He just smiled and said, yeah.
But the thing is, don't forget, the maps are a lot better for him now. We start with Entombed Valley, not with the Business City. This is definitely a good point here for Rain. So let's find out if he's able to take it. Here we go, Blizzard Cup 2012, Rain vs. Life, brought to you by Colin Wolf. Starting to the top left of the map, we have our OSL champion, the Casper Protoss. Yes.
SK Telecom T1, Rain.
This is Rain, and he is already down 1 best of 3 in this group. He lost to Sniper earlier. Actually to Violet, sorry, with a 1-2. Now he's up against another Zerg player at the bottom right, cross-positioned to Rain. We have the Startail Zerg player. We have
Startail Live.
Life and Violet, the only 2 players who are 1-0 in the group.
Connor, here's the biggest question though. Is the A going to come back with Rain?
No. The A is not going to come back today, I'm pretty sure.
No A.
No. No glitch on the screen. Troll that will hunt me for a while. But well, cross position now, of course, on this map. So Rain already scouted, and he sees that his opponent is not starting at the bottom left. We'll spot him on the second location.
You know
that he sends the pro about.
Heaven was saying in chat he had like a very strong prediction that it was going to be Rain at the 11 o'clock position, which is actually what we see, but that Life was going to be at the bottom left, and it turns out Life's at the bottom right. I was freaking out when I saw the spawn at first. I looked at Rain, and he was at the 11 o'clock, and I was like, uh-oh. Heaven not only is good at observing, no wonder he's so good he can see the future. But it turns out it's at 5 and not 7.
If I could see the future, I would start to play roulette. I would not observe. I would start to play roulette.
You know, actually, I think about it, I'm like, I'm not so sure. I'm like, did he say 5 or did he say 7? I think he said 7, but I gotta go look at our chat history now. I'm starting to get scared, man. I'm like, maybe he really can see the future.
But if he does, as I say, go to Vegas, go to Macau, play roulette, win a few million, and then come back and host the best esports tournament ever.
He actually, he did go to Vegas. He might already be rich. He's been twice now. We don't know. Heaven just might like observing. He's like, I'm gonna, you know, when I win poker games, nobody can know that I can see the future because that's cheating. But if I do the observing at the GSL, everyone just thinks I'm a genius.
He does leave subtle clues. Here we have our rankings, of course, once again, and we also saw the map statistics for both players, a very similar win ratio, but with Life playing a lot more games here.
Yeah. Now notice, of course, you could call Rain the first Royal Road for OSL because he won the first one that happened in Starcraft 2. So this is a Royal Road versus Royal Road match. I feel like Life's is more impressive, though, to be honest. I mean, You could say that in some ways because Life had to go through Code A, and Code has a much tougher format, but on the other hand, Rain has switched over to Starcraft 2 a lot later than Life, and also beat a top Starcraft 2 player, Dongrigu, in the finals. So both of them having a really good accomplishment to get here.
Third base now coming up for Life, as you would expect. The question is more, what is Rain going to do? That's really what I'm curious about. The reason being is that he, of course, showed the strategy on this map already against Violet, and he won. And Life was sitting in the backstage area and watching the games. He knew exactly that he was up against Rain next, so he was like, well, you play the same matchup, let's see what you're gonna do. And this is the starting map for the two of them. So is Rain going to play the same push? And if so, what will Life do? Or is Rain starting to switch things up, because he's of course fully aware that Life watched his last match?
I feel like he got a little bit lucky against Violet, because Violet did not realize what was going on. He didn't have a scout for the army coming across the map, and he literally started to make units to defend as soon as it was too late. As soon as Rain was upon him. Stargate is going to be Rain's choice, a build that we very rarely see on this map, in fact.
He used the Stargate on Abyssal City against Violet, and he got him into a really good position. In the end, Violet won the match, but still, it was a great opening for him. So he's using something that, as Wolf just pointed out, is not really all that common on this map, especially now with the cross position that we see.
Probe does... Actually, does he see the creep? I'm pretty sure he saw it. No, he did not actually get any scout information on the third base at all. But with the Queen being there, pretty weird if there was no third base, the Queen was walking up towards a hatch. That would be a pretty sick fake by Life. Now he's going to verify with the Stalker and Zealot. But, you know, this is kind of risky. If there was some sort of speeding attack like we saw Sniper do, and he was walking across the map with these units, he might just die.
Yeah, but I don't really think
it's a calculated risk.
Exactly.
Sees that drone going over, now he knows the base is there for sure, and that's all he wants to see. He runs back with Stalker and Zealot, immediately not leaving anything to chance. Not going to try to take that Queen out, as we already saw, though. Him against Violet, he tried to do that, didn't work out. Phoenix number 1 is out, he's hiding. Phoenix number 2. Overlord tries to come in for a peek, the sentry is already ready. And he's going to see this right around the same time that Rain wants to move out anyways, so it's not too big of a deal that he sees it now.
You know, the thing for Life is, if you check his match history and also his statistics, this is his weakest matchup. He really excels in Zerg versus Terran.
Yeah,
he's really good against ZVZ, but in Zerg versus Protoss, he only has a 57% win ratio with 51 wins and 38 losses.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Life that his best matchup this does not occur here. There's no Terrans in the base. He didn't even have a Terran in his group.
Exactly. But on the other hand, if you just go down the accomplishments of Life in the recent past, he 2-0'd Yonghwa in Code A. He was able to win against Crater with a 2-1 at Iron Squid. At the same tournament, he took out Seed, who's also in his group. He lost to Parting, though, with a 3-0 at the MLG Tournament of Champions, so this is the one matchup that he could not win against his own teammate. But besides that, he won most of his games against Protoss at the GSL World Championship in Las Vegas. He took out Naniwa with a 1-0, he defeated Hawk with a 2-0 at Pro League, took down Perfect with a 2-0 as well. So in the past few weeks, he was a lot better in the matchup than before, but still, statistically speaking, this is not where he excels.
Oh, Rain not able to do a whole lot with his Phoenixes, man.
Get a single Queen.
Again, though, Rain with 0 units lost.
Now, 1 loses a Phoenix, takes down Queen number 2.
With all the extra Queens that have been made, I just don't think that was a good trade. But that was the only unit he's lost, that 1 Phoenix. Everything else has been saved. Big gateway attack incoming, volleyed up with Colossi. I think he's just going to hit this attack off 3 bases. Not the same one that we saw against Violet, but one with Colossi with +2 and with a decent amount of gateway units.
It's a timing that we've also seen from players like Seed. Seed played this too. We also had this timing being used by Nighted, who was in Korea.
When he was playing for Fnatic here in the Team League, he used this. This is a really cool push. It hits before Brood Lords.
Yeah, that's always what you want to go for. You don't want to face Brood Lords, and this is like the golden rule of PvZ for every Protoss player. Try to kill them before they have the Brood Lords out. And of course, Infestor is also a big nuisance here.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. 3 Overlords.
3 Overlords, man. He's not going to get a single one, though.
Yeah, Transfuse is ready. But at least you can scare him a little bit, just for a second. Rain now with the Colossus number 1 on the tap. not on the map just yet. Going into +2 attack and Blink Stalkers. A lot of gateways, as already mentioned before. He really powered up. 68 harvesters against 71. Fourth base coming up for life right now. Also the macro hedge. This guy is not going to get short on lava.
And he's going to need a lot of it to be able to do this push that we're going to see from Rain.
Yeah.
You know, Rain could surprise us, though, and make a free beacon and take the fourth base. He doesn't have to do the push. It's just one that we see so often on this map that it starts to seem likely. A lot of drone kills.
Love how Rain uses his Phoenixes.
Yeah, he's actually one of the best Phoenix players we have by far. I'm really impressed with this Phoenix play as well.
That was all. Now he loses one, slips a bit, but he already used them very well on the map number 1 that he played today when he faced Sniper on Abyssal City. But he's doing a great job here as well. So his Phoenix play is really excellent and killing a lot with those guys. It really pays off for him. Rain, on the other hand, now with additional 4 gates, he really get a lot of them. Extended Thermal Lance is halfway done. Charge is now on his way. He's trying to gear up for this huge attack. And so far, we only have the Spire just now started for Life. So Life will not head into Broodlords anytime soon. He needs more time, and that's exactly what Rain tries to prevent here.
4 gates going down here.
Yeah.
And that means that we're going to have that push more likely. It just gets better and better here, the amount of production that Rain has and how well he can hit this timing with +2 Colossi. Sometimes you see players wait for +3, and he could do that because the Spire here is lining up now. No, did he finish the Hive already?
No.
Oh, yeah, he didn't even start that. So
yep.
That's one thing that's a little bit behind here. Oh wow, actually if Life attacks into this location and loses a lot of his roaches, then Rain goes for the counterattack, this could be deadly.
He's toying around with the idea. He wants to go in there, doesn't he? He wants to catch his opponent on the map. We have a nice place observer here that spots everything that's going on. Rain is in the know. And here comes the War Prism speed now. Then Extended Thermal Lance is done.
That indicates that we're going to see a longer game. With the Temple Archives as well. The Temple Archives are not usually involved in this push. He's just going to move out and try to attack the 4th base, but it's not going to be a push to end the game. He's not even 100% sure if he wants to do it at all. This is going to give him time to get those Corruptors out.
Why is Life not getting a Hive Tech with all the resource that he has? Yeah, the Corruptors are going to be important here. I don't think so. I think he would have realized that by now. There's the Hive Tech now. Okay.
It's possible it's a mistake, but it also may be that he wants to get the upgrades and the Corruptors much more than he wanted the Hive, but he could have gotten both. Because a few seconds on the Corruptors is much less important, I feel, in this case, than the Hive actually being out.
If Rain doesn't take a 4th, but just maxes out and attacks, he has a really good timing here.
He's got a really good timing, so a really good composition.
But he takes the 4th, so it's likely that he's going to be a little bit more defensive and is not trying to push in.
He's going to potentially try to target down this Spire with his Zealot Warp and attack with the Warp Prism.
Yeah, I guess so.
There's a Spore Crawler ready, though, so he needs to make sure he warps him away from that Spore.
He has the observers. I mean, he knows what's going on here. And now we have the first Spine Crawlers. Rain is moving out now. Here comes the Warp in. The Warp in is actually visible, and the Corruptors are already on the hunt, taking down the Warp Prism. Ah, there comes the funnel. Well done.
Great defense here by Life. Shuts that down like it was nothing, but the second Warp Prism comes around the right side.
And here comes the Rain.
+3 is about to finish. This is what I was talking about. Oh, you can hit this with +3. That's what he's going for. He's got the 4th base to fall back to.
He needs to be careful, though. Greater Spire, of course, is going to take a while, so +3 should be ready. Here comes the Warp Prism once again. And the battle in the middle of the map at the same time. The force fields are decent, and here come those Colossi doing a lot of damage. Of course, the Corruptors trying to chase them down, but the Archons doing a lot of damage as well. And those Stalkers trying to focus down every single Corruptor before the Colossi are gone.
Fleet Beacon coming up here. The Warp Prism and the Zealots, the main base, were cleaned up during this fight. Life taking a pretty good lead here, but he's losing Corruptors. That's going to be really important for the Broodlords he wants to make.
72 Zerglings, that's what he's currently getting. +3 is just now done. He couldn't use it in the last fight, but he will be able to use it in the next one.
Drops are going to be done for Overlords as well. That could be something he uses later on in the late game.
And with the Spine Crawlers, he's now safe. You have a lot of gateway units on the map. The army supply is currently in favor of Life, of course, with 120 against 83, but here comes the engagement. The +3 attack upgrade is doing quite a lot for Rain here, but he has to be careful, especially against the Infested Terrans. He's backing off, trying to get outside the range.
Yeah, the Colossus is a little bit alone here. Rain is dropping in supply, man. Life, not only does he have the Broodlord tech coming out, but he cleans up this army, and he's looking like he's going to take game number 1 if he keeps this up.
He still has a sick bank, even though he maxed out for the 3rd time now. The Greater Spire is not even done yet, but he is pinning Rain against the wall.
Corruption on those Stalkers means that they are actually not able to fight against the Roaches very well here because of that extra % damage done by the Roach acid attacks.
Oh my
The
god.
Stalkers are +3 versus just +1 for the Roaches, but still, he fights them well.
Rain on Entombed Valley finds himself now on roughly half the supply of his opponent. And Life is heading into the Broodlord tech now. We have him with a Greater Spire completed. Adrenal Glance is nearly done, +2 attack. Here come the Broodlords. And this was just a massacre. He chased Rain to the top left of the map and took down every single unit.
This all comes down to the Vortex now. Entombed Valley becomes Vortex Valley for Rain because he has the 4th base, he has that economy that will allow him to remax, but his opponent's composition is going to be better with the Broodlords. So that's why he has to hope for the good Vortex. But if Life doesn't give it to him, then he's got no openings, he's got no options in this game. When the Broodlords are done and you get above 10 Broodlords, that's it. You don't get the Vortex, you're not winning the game. It's impossible.
Can you double check if we have Neuroparasite?
I don't think we do, but I will double check.
A bit of an engagement at the 4th that didn't do too much. And Neuroparasite has not been researched, so that's one of the upgrades that Life did skip. Oh, nice warp in here. Good position for the warp.
Yeah, warp was in a great spot. Roaches actually get dropped into the main base. He takes out the Colossus with that. Meanwhile, the Roaches at the 4th are going to be cleaned up. So Life has to be careful with how he trades his gas here, though, because like you say, he doesn't have the Neuro, and he doesn't want to throw too much away until he has that bank. Here comes a big warping of Zealots, 8 of them. If he can take out the Greater Spire, this would be good for him, but there's already 2 Spines in his way.
A lot of Zealots. Oh, nice, actually. Really well done here for a second with the Queen, but then he dies after all. The Burrow not enough. He's trying to take down a few Harvesters, but there are so many Spine Crawlers. And look at this timing for Life. He's going across the map. We have the Mothership just now being done, starting to get some energy.
The Mothership is the key here.
The macro of Life is just crazy. This guy is hitting every single inject. He's always so high on lava. He can just max out. He's using his bank.
Yeah, +3 for his Infested Terrans finishing up, +1 for the Broods and Corruptors as well. The +1 armor for Rain is a little bit late here. Oh, loses the Observer, which means he doesn't have the ability to position his Mothership far in advance.
He needs more Archons.
Yeah, he needs way more. He's going to morph 2 more right now. He needs about 5. That's what I think is ideal.
The timing is brilliant. There's just nothing for the Mothership. It's being bundled and attacked.
Targets it down and it's gone. And this may be the end of Rain's chances here. The Broodlords, he doesn't have any answer for him. The Stalkers blink in though.
He's blinking forward. That's the only thing that he can do, trying to kill them before they kill him. And he's taking them down one by one, but there are too many.
Yeah, the Lings are going to help out here as well. And yeah, he may take out some of these, but the Roaches are going to finish everything else off, and it's not going to be enough.
It's just the second wave that is streaming across the map now that he won't be able to stop. They are on creep. There's so many Zerglings, even additional Broodlords now being mobbed. And he does not have the anti-air. 8 Stalkers, that's all that Rain has here to defend against the air unit. And this is not going to happen.
So the Stalkers fall back to the cannons. GG. Rain, man, he's having some trouble, but Life showing that he is still the top player here. He's actually, he and Sniper, the last 2 Code S champions, are showing that they are actually some of the best players in the world. Not messing around, saying, you know, you're the OSL champion, but my league is tougher than yours. I am a tougher player, and I'm not going to give you a single map win.
1-0 so far in the best of 3 for Life, and of course we have now Life still being on 1-0 in map scores. At the same time we also have the map score for Violet with a 1-0, both of them at the same amount, but yeah, this is gonna get really scary here. Right now we have Rain down a game. Both Boros players not doing too good in this group thus far. Game 2, it's gonna decide the fate of Rain, or it might at least. What's gonna be the map? Cloud Kingdom.
This is a pretty good map for Protoss versus Zerg. He already had the best one in Entombed Valley, and now he picks the second best. No Ohana in this map pool, so he can't use that one.
It's just such a sick group, you know. I mean, Life and Sniper, they've been Code S champions for a reason. And Rain and Violet and Seed, of course, all 3 of them are top-notch players. Here we go, the lead for Life, Cloud Kingdom being the map choice for Rain. If he loses here, he will if he wins here, he will most likely face Life on Abyssal City in Game 3. But first of all, he has to take it.
Life, man, just looks unstoppable in this group. I would not want to be Rain right now. Not only is Rain playing against a great Zerg versus Protoss player, but he is down a game in this group, down a game in this series. If he loses here, Rain will take a -3 score. About to find out here at the GSL 2012 Blizzard Cup with Power Rumble.